This program is made to deprogram you to what you've been programmed to, right?
That is exactly what we're about. You have to remember that. Look, whether we get 1 million views or we get 1, it is still Be More. Believe me, for real. I refuse to have a generation behind me not doing better than me.
Right.
That doesn't make sense.
Right.
I can't sleep at night knowing the next generation is going to do worse than all. That doesn't make sense.
Be more for real.
DMV and Be More.
Put the number 4 up. Show them the number 4. Yeah.
It's like, okay, we separate. But when you move outside of Maryland, we all the same.
We all the same.
Canada
But you gotta play your role.
Canada is Be More for real. We appreciate y'all. We appreciate y'all.
Welcome to BMore4Real podcast. Get ready for the realest conversations anywhere on the net.
Keep it locked with us.
Elvis.
Whoa, Be More for real. We are in here. Be More for real. Shorty, Be More for real. Oh my goodness, another Wednesday, man. This gonna be another one. This gonna be another one for the ages. Be More for real. Rated R for reality. Brought to you by way of Real Explosions, man. I'm your co-host. I'm your host for the night. OMG, Danny, man. We're gonna go ahead and clap that up. Man, I got a lot to get into tonight, man, and it's gonna be deep. Y'all already know. Be More for real. Realest conversation on the net, man. Y'all already know. Before we get started, though, I'm gonna just tell y'all how my week was. Yo, it's a rainy day out there. It's amazing that I'm dry right now, for real. It's real wet. It's been raining for the last couple of days. I hope people know that this is the rainy season, so this is the time that it's supposed to be raining, so the flowers will come forth and stuff like that. But it's a little bit too cold for my liking. I also had the pleasure on Monday, of working with Be More Pod, and they had the high school college kids on there, and it was awesome, man. It was amazing. They did awesome. I'm gonna go ahead and clap it up for them. Because they did a wonderful job, man, and it was wonderful to see what they did. Now I don't have the clip for them, but still, Monday nights is the sports show. Big Brother Eric, I drink out the cup every single week. Y'all already know EBJR, Elevate, Believe, Just Rise. We're gonna go ahead and run that clip real quick.
I'm gonna kill these mofos for real. Give me a chance. It was more of a comment, right? They don't date because of passport.
But anyway, I gave y'all props. That's it. I'm done with y'all. That's it.
Oh, keep it coming. It's not the end. It's not the end. V's a legend. Like.
So, I mean, sometimes stuff like that does cause a distraction. So, had him off his game. Like, he knew something was coming out. Like, pipeline, when he was kicking that ball, something else was going through his head. 16 therapists, accusations, from 2012 to 2016. God. Yeah, it's kind of weird because, like, the timing of it, but just for 16... What's your thoughts on that?
I mean, obviously,
I was like, who does that? Who does that?
So, right, like people think you just go in there and boom, one cut, and it takes time and effort.
Yeah, absolutely. You got to really invest into it. And
right.
You got to really
Tune in to Be More Sports Talk Live every Monday at 7 p.m. exclusively on the Be More Pod Network.
I'm gonna kill these mofos for real. Give me a chance.
All right. We're going to go ahead and clap that up. Clap that up for the sports show, man. Eric with us, man. He said, what's up, family? What's up, fam? What it do, fam? Brother Bobby B in the house. What's good, Brother Bobby B in the house, man? That's our executive producer, man. Appreciate Bobby B. Appreciate you for all you do behind the scenes, man. Make sure y'all go ahead and follow the Robert Blount collection and everything and do your due diligence. That's my guy. Yeah, man. I'm gonna get into the reparations part, and trust me, it's gonna get good. I got a couple videos to share and things like that. So just stick with me. Y'all know we got a rundown with the programs. You know what I'm saying? Make sure everybody gets shouted out tomorrow. Y'all already know BMore Pod has the Thursday night show. It's actually the anniversary as well. It's the 2-year anniversary, so we're gonna go ahead and clap that up. We're gonna go ahead and clap that up. Yeah. 2-year anniversary for BMore Pod. They on tomorrow. We're going to go ahead and run that clip.
College girl sexy. I'll take some. Look, I don't know if that's a compliment or insult.
His studio etiquette is amazing. Like, even at 5, he already knew, like, yeah, I want this like that. Move that right there. You know? That's a gift.
We got a video for Gwen Hilton. Y'all go ahead and run that video while I pop these bottles. Pop the bottle, baby.
But you get up on the table.
I want you to get up on that table. That's
and you stop.
First of all, it was the facial expressions I was making. I was looking at everybody else. Not too many people could sing like that.
Entertainment report. Entertainment report.
They ready. They ready.
We do this so we can show other people's talent, and the talent that's inside them is what they love is inside of you, man. They point out their passion, they love outside of themselves, man. And 9 times out of 10, if a person is going for trying to reach a goal, there's something inside of them, they got to have help.
That's my bro. Like, we here. We got same with me. Like, we here. We got.
BMore Pod, your liveliest destination. Come and join Dennis, Lene, and Joey every Thursday at 7 p.m. Your talent will make room for you.
Yeah. Those my dogs, those my peeps. You already know what's up. Those my dogs, those my peeps. Go ahead and follow them. Go ahead and do your due diligence. Also, man, just a couple of announcements. Y'all already know, as we head on Ursula Battle, y'all know her players coming up in August, man. Desperate Housewives of the Bible. They also have the auditions for the play. Reach out to Ursula Battle. All the information is also on the screen. We also have Tasha's Tasty Treats LLC, the community outreach. They just had a giveaway and with food and everything on May the 18th. I believe that was the past Sunday, the last week, 10 days ago, whatever, however it was. But make sure y'all go ahead and support the community now. Donate. Y'all see the QR code on the screen. Also, if you have a business or if you have any other thing that you would like to share, hit us up on BMore4Real podcast at gmail.com so we can get your advertisements in there as well. We're going to go ahead and clap that up. But without further ado, I know that's what y'all came to see. Y'all came to see, Westmore. He rejected the reparations. We're going to get right into it because it's a lot to talk about, for real. This picture not owned by me. I got it from Roland Martin, so I don't know what he said about it and everything else like that, but I do know come from Roland Martin. BMore Pod in the house. He said, hello, fam. What's up, fam? 2-year anniversary tomorrow, man. I'm going to catch y'all tomorrow. We going into the topic of the night. So, Governor Westmore had vetoed reparations, and let me start off like this, because this is BMore4Real, right? It wouldn't be BMore4Real if I didn't. It wouldn't be BMore4Real. Excuse me for that. It wouldn't be BMore4Real if I didn't actually provide you guys with the truth of the matter. So, what happened was this is not a bill for reparations. This was just a plan to study reparations. I want to say that again. So, this was not a bill to get reparations. This was a plan to study the effects of reparations on the people. And so that's the truth of the matter. And he vetoed the study of reparations on black people. And so with that being said, I'm going to just say this. I agree and I disagree with what Governor Westmore has done. And I want the people to pay attention, especially in Baltimore, especially if you go out there to the polls and you vote. See, this is why it's so ultra important. And see, I wanted to do something else different. I could have done something else different today, right? But instead, I chose to come to the people to tell y'all what's really going on, because all this being woke and this fake awake stuff and just consciousness stuff is far beyond me. I don't care about the horoscopes and none of that stuff. Being woke has everything to do with being aware of what's going on around you. That's what being woke, that's what it means to be conscious, because there are people that are asleep out here. They sleepwalking, but when you sleep, you are not aware of what's going on around you. So you're not woke, you're asleep. That's the literal definition. I just wanted to bring that out there because who knows? The lack of common sense is an epidemic now. Lack of common sense is a freaking epidemic. And I'm gonna just tell y'all straight up. What it is about reparations and everything. So let's get into it. I got a couple videos to share, and I'm gonna share it differently this time. This time I am going to share my screen. Let's go ahead and share the screen, right? And I'm gonna do that because I can do that. I'm gonna do that because I can do that. Let's share the screen. We're gonna do this in real time so y'all can see with me. And if y'all can see on the screen, let me know. Put a 1 in the chat. If y'all can't, put a 2 in the chat. But let's see. We're gonna go through this together. Let's do it.
Become law without his signature. This was the governor on Sine Die.
The legacy of slavery is something that is still very real.
Brittany Marshall with his office released a statement saying the governor has and will continue to work tirelessly to uplift communities disproportionately impacted by the history of slavery in this state. The governor has until May 27th to sign the bill into law or let it become law without his signature. In Baltimore, Jeff Morgan, WMAR 2 News.
All right, so that was May 27th. I'm sorry you guys couldn't see that. That's a little bit different. I'm gonna make sure I share the next screen so y'all can see it. But I'm gonna make sure I appreciate that too, B1 Pod. I'm gonna make sure that I share it the next time so y'all can see it. I know y'all seen the end of it, but this was just a month ago when they were talking about him signing the bill, which was for yesterday, May the 27th. Which he ultimately, as you know, he wound up vetoing the bill. And like I said, it's crucial to understand that he's just talking about the study of reparations and the impact that it has on the people. So the way that the media portrays this is crazy because you would think that they're talking about reparations, but they really not. Anyway, this is why I agree with the veto. And this is what Governor Westmore said, first and foremost. Governor Westmore said out of his own mouth, and I wish I had the screenshot somewhere to show you guys. But Governor Westmore said out of his own mouth, this is what he said. he said that it's nothing to study. It needs to be action. So I agree with that. That was his reasoning that he said out of his own mouth of why he vetoed the bill. He said basically, what are we studying? There's nothing to study. This plan needs and requires action, and that I do agree with. And now what I don't agree with is that if the study hasn't been done and they haven't concluded a study, like why not just do it anyway? I don't care what it takes, how much money it takes. Why not just do it anyway? So that's why I agree, and that's why I disagree. So let's go ahead and pull up some. Let's go ahead and pull up the next video, and we're gonna see what the news said regarding this one. We're gonna go ahead and stop sharing that screen. We're gonna share this screen, and like I said, this is real time. And I'm gonna make sure y'all can see. I'm gonna make sure y'all can see this as well. Let me know if y'all can see this. Boom. I think I got it this time, right? I think I got it, right?
And Governor Wes Moore is coming under fire after he vetoed a bill that would have created a commission to study and recommend reparations for African Americans who were impacted by slavery.
This bill passed with the overwhelming majority in the House and the Senate. Our Lionel Donovan has more from Annapolis.
When it comes to reparations, we have only begun to fight.
Activists gathered in front of the State House this afternoon, calling out the actions of one man.
Governor Wes Moore! What do you want? Reparations! And when do you want it? Now!
On Friday, the governor announced plans to veto legislation that would have established a commission to study the historical impact of chattel slavery and policies during the Jim Crow era. Governor Moore explained his reasoning in a letter to Senate President Bill Ferguson, stating, quote, "I strongly believe now is not the time for another study. Now is the time for continued action that delivers results for the people we serve."
There's no reason you can't do both.
Carl Snowden of the Caucus of African American Leaders pushed back on Moore's stance, saying the commission gives Maryland a chance to do more than pay lip service to a historic injustice. The Senate bill describes potential forms of reparations ranging from apology statements, monetary compensation, debt forgiveness, social services, or home buying assistance, among other options.
I think the country's changing. I think the attitudes are changing. I think people are ready for a serious look at reparations at the state level.
Now advocates say they plan to call on lawmakers to stand behind their votes because this commission is long overdue.
No person, black or white, Democratic or Republican, should be unwilling to look at data and facts presented to them to show what has happened to black people and how it has ill affected them. Especially in this hour.
Now, if the reparations bill had been signed, the commission would have begun work this year with a deadline of 2027 to deliver a final report. From the State House, Lionel Donovan, WUSA 9.
All right. We're gonna go ahead and clap that up. And so, like I said, this was just for the research of the bill. This was not for reparations, as you can see. And I appreciate this particular news channel for accurately reporting on what the study was. So shout out to them as well. One thing I did forget before I move on, we have someone coming up real soon as well. His name is Ricky, the Real Deal Shackelford. He has a lot of events coming up. The Sanford and Son stage play. He's a legendary comedian, entertainer in the Baltimore, in the whole, nationally really. These guys are awesome, man. Sanford and Son stage play. He has the June comedy night coming up. We also have him coming up on the podcast real soon. Shout out Ricky, the Real Deal Shackelford. Coming June 18th. Go ahead and check him out. So as I digress though, so this is what they were talking about. They were talking about they didn't have the research on reparations, right? And so this is where I said, I got you. They need research done on reparations, and it's a lot to get into. So I only pulled out just several things, and I had the help of Chat GPT to help me. You feel me? Because that's what they use nowadays. Shout out to the AI technology when it's used in its proper uses. But I have a lot of data, but I only highlighted several. So they wanted to know the facts about reparations and the data concerned about reparations. And I have that for you, and we're going to shout that out. Shout out BMore4Real, because that's what we do. We bring forth the real. And this is how we're going to start this. All right, so I'm gonna make sure I gotta pull it up on my phone too to make sure I can read it with y'all, so I can see what you guys see. Give me 1 second. This is the median household wealth by race in 2022. White households, $285,000. Black households, $44,900. Hispanic households, $61,600. And Asian households with the highest at $536,000. This means that the median black household has approximately 16% of the wealth of the median white household, a gap that has largely remained unchanged over recent decades. So now we're gonna get into the data. We're gonna break this down. By the way, make sure y'all like the stream. Make sure y'all spam them comments. Let me know what y'all thinking as well, because a person that speaks in absolute is an absolute fool. Nothing I'm saying is absolutely true, but I'm presenting facts and data before the people. Nonetheless, is BMore4Real. As I regress, so the median household income by wealth, and so how do we even get this disparity, and what is going on in the minds of the people? And I'm gonna tell you why, because I have a couple comments coming up too that I pulled off of Facebook. I think it was on WBFF or one of them. A lot of those news sites, they have a lot of interesting white people that come out and say stuff behind them keyboards. It's interesting. But luckily for them, I blurted out their names of the harsh critics, because I don't want people to think I'm inciting violence, which I'm absolutely not. But I'm here to deprogram the people to what they've been programmed to. Again, this program is made to deprogram you to what you have been programmed to. As I digress, let's go to some key factors here. Let's see some key factors, key insights. Let's go to some key factors here. Let's try to read along with you guys. Key factors, key insights. Give me a second to follow along, because I had all this pulled up. Key factors. Okay. Or key insights. That's what we are. Key insights. I don't even think I have. Income growth in 2023. The only racial group to experience a statistically significant increase in the median household income was non-Hispanic white households, which saw a 5.7% rise. In contrast, black households experienced no significant change from the previous year. High-income households. A higher percentage of non-Hispanic white households, 16.3%, had incomes exceeding $200,000 compared to black households, which is 7.3%. Now, this is the historical context. The income gap between black and white households has remained substantial since 1970. I'm gonna say it like this: substantial. Look, Baltimore ain't all that dumb, right? But if a Baltimore dude tell you substantial, a lot of times it means something good. It's gonna make you wonder, like, dang, what he do to make me use a word like that? But no, for real though, if you hear somebody from Baltimore be like substantial, bro, you did a damn good job. But as I digress, that might not be the context of the situation. But I'm just saying, as I digress, the income gap between black and white households has remained substantial since 1970, reflecting long-standing structural inequalities. Now, as you can see, I'm not making this up. This is the income gap, this is the wealth gap and stuff like that that's occurring. And we asked about reparations and stuff like that. What about reparations? There's a lot of black people that feel a lot of ways about reparations. Some good, some bad. Like they say, not all skin folk are kinfolk. You get what I'm saying? Not all kinfolk are kinfolk, as I should say. But let's go ahead and summarize this up. In the U.S., slave owners were not generally compensated during or after the Civil War, except in very limited cases like Washington, D.C., right? Reparations was given to slave owners, not to formerly enslaved people, highlighting the profound injustice that followed emancipation. So, wow, now we see something. Now, they didn't tell you that, though. They didn't tell you that, though. The slave owners got reparations for losing the slaves after the Emancipation Proclamation, which was what was it, 1865, 1863, 1865, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's one of those 2 years, right? As I digress. So look, they want the facts. They want the facts that's presented. And that's all I'm doing. I'm bringing the facts to the table. Facts, don't care about your feelings, your emotions. You can leave all that to the side. Let's come together and let's have a real conversation, right? All right, so in summary, like I said, DC had given reparations to slave owners that were formerly, and not to the people that were formerly enslaved, and it was highlighting profound injustices. Not only that, we had banks, the banks, and this is why they say, "Oh, why do we owe reparations and all this stuff? We don't owe anything." Well, the people don't understand that the economy of the United States, the banks, had slaves. Their wealth was made from slaves. Don't take my word for it, because I got a lot of this information for you. So these are the U.S. banks that own slaves. We have. Let's do this. Let me read with you. We got J.P. Chase. I know y'all see that. We got J.P. Chase Morgan, and we have Wells Fargo. That's just two. And these are definitely not all. These are definitely not all. Give me a second while I follow along with you guys. I gotta pull it up. Let's make sure I got it. Let's make sure I got it. I got so much information. I got so many screenshots. I don't know where they at in the phone. I just had to send them, and make sure they was in the production. And then I had to make sure I trimmed it down, because I wasn't gonna be able to get through all of this today. But U.S.-based banks, number one, J.P. Morgan Chase, through its predecessor, Citizens Bank and Canal Bank in Louisiana, J.P. Chase accepted approximately 13,000 enslaved individuals as collateral. It ended up owning about 1,250 enslaved people between 1831 and 1865. Wells Fargo, number two, Wells Fargo's predecessor, Wachovia Bank. How many people remember Wachovia? Put the one in the chat. It says Wachovia admitted in 2005 that its predecessors, the Bank of Charleston and Georgia Railroad, a banking company, owned at least 162 enslaved individuals and accepted 529 more as collateral for loans. So now we see that we have banks in there. You know, y'all might be wondering what some more banks. You got Citigroup Bank, and you have Truist Financial Banks. Basically, all the major banks had slaves. Just do your research on it. All the major banks had slaves. Now, this is the important thing about this is what's important about it, right? Because they're gonna say, why can't you just pull yourself up by your bootstraps? Remember that, right? Why can't you just pull yourself up by your bootstraps and let whatever be whatever, right? But remember this. You see the wealth income gap, right? And now we about to see what slavery has done to the people. Remember, they say they want the research, right? I got the research for you. Remember, they say they want the research, they want the facts, they want the data, right, on reparations and how it affected people, especially in Maryland and stuff like that. But this is national. This ain't contingent just in Maryland. Slavery, racism existed a long time ago. And I'm gonna get to it. I don't want to get into too much, because I do have some screenshots of some comments from Facebook that I want y'all to see as well too. And this is what we experience in this day and age in the social media world, in the social media realm. So let's continue as I digress. Right, we know these banks had slaves, and then this is the example. In Washington, D.C., in 1862, under the District of Columbia Compensated Emancipation Act. Remember, they wanted facts, right? You wanted facts, right? Congress paid slave owners up to $300 per freed person. About $1 million was spent to compensate slave owners, not the freed individuals. There was only one instance in the U.S. history where the federal government formally compensated slaveholders for emancipated people. So these are the facts, right? They said there's only one time that the slave owners was compensated and all that for the people, and I'm gonna just call bullshit. Bullshit. I'm gonna call bullshit on that. Not everything you read is accurate, and trust me, I'm gonna explain to you how. So let's look at some key factors. Let's see if I have that. Let's see if we have that key factors. Let's see if we have some key factors. Let's see if we have some key factors. We do have a comment. Send an icon. He said, break it down, Danny. You already know. You already know. Appreciate that, big brother. Let's see if we have some key factors. And if I don't have all this stuff, I'm going to pull it up on my phone because you're going to need to hear this. You're going to need to hear this. All right, let's go to the key factors. All right, so this is GPT again. Man's best friend now. Let's go to this. Let's say key factors contributing to the wealth gap. Home ownership disparities. White households are more likely to own homes, 70.2% versus 38.6% for black households, and have significantly higher median median home equity at $180,000 versus $115,000. You also have retirement savings, and this is just a couple of the things, a couple of the key factors. And number one is home ownership disparities. Now remember that. Now remember, I'm calling bullshit. They said that the only time that the slave owners were given reparations was in 1962. We just read it, right? In Washington, D.C., the Federally Compensated Act for them slave owners, right? $300 per free person, right? It's amazing. It's amazing. The disrespect is amazing. And I want you white people to listen, too, the ones that keep talking about reparation. And I want you black people, too, the ones that keep talking about pull yourself up by your bootstraps, that have been brainwashed and whitewashed by the white people, or you want to brown nose the white people, you're too scared to stick up. Look, I ain't the one. I'm going to tell you just how it is. I'm going to tell you exactly how it is. You feel me? So, As I digress, let's get into it. What Big Brother say? He said, that's true, can't believe it all. Of course you can't believe it all. But this is why we had the research. So Chat GPT says that they were only compensated one time. But now we see Chat GPT says that the number one reason for the gap and the wealth gap in the communities between the white community and the black community, the number one reason, right, is housing. The number one reason is housing. And I know y'all remember redlining and stuff like that. And before I go too deep, I'm going to just look it up, right? Because, you know, I'm a man of facts. I also had before this one, I had a podcast called Facts Over Feelings. So I've been dealing in facts. I've never been dealing in feelings. You can put your feelings and all that stuff to the side because these facts already hit, right? And by the way, if this is your first time listening, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. We're gonna keep it for real, man. Be more for real. So let's see when redlining started, and this is just a simple Google. It says redline originated in the 1930s during the Great Depression when the federal government created maps of neighborhoods to determine the riskiness of mortgage loans, right? Here we go. We're talking bank terminology and everything, right? During the 1930s, during the Great Depression. And these maps were used by Homeowners Loan Corporation, also known as HOLC. Shaded neighborhoods based on factors like racial composition, property values, and other perceived risks. Red neighborhoods, often predominantly black, were deemed risky and denied government-insured loans. So remember, we talking about facts, right? You can go ahead and look this up. And see, the thing is, it don't take that goddamn long to look this shit up. And the people, to the black people, and excuse my language because I do get adamant about what I'm saying, it don't take that long to look this stuff up. And to the black people that say, oh, well, we don't need nothing from the white, I keep trying to stay away from that because I got comments coming that I'm going to show you the screenshots of what people were saying the whole time. But you must haven't talked to the ancestors yet. Don't even talk about it. And if or when reparations do come, don't have your hand out. Don't even have your hand out. So that I'm gonna say that for y'all. But anyway, as I digress, the housing disparity is the number one reason why. And then we see the banks who had slaves were the ones that was giving loans. They had slaves up until the Emancipation Proclamation. And then they were given reparations as well. So you asking about reparations for black people? Why we should get reparations for black people? First of all, hold up. Check this out. Black people ain't even get the right to vote until 1965. I might as well pull up these damn comments because I keep on acknowledging them. Ain't no reason to duck and run and hide and stuff like that. And like I said, luckily for the people, I'm not trying to cite violence, the people that I thought that genuinely racist and just wanted to say something against black people, I just blurred their names out. You can see people names, you can see people names that have the comment under there, but you can't even see their comment, so who knows? You're gonna have to check the post out. Let's go ahead and try to read along with this. Give me a second. We're gonna look at this. We're gonna address these comments because these are the people that's out in the world. These are the people that have the same right to vote as you and I. So, whoever this person is, this person says, this guy's running Baltimore right down the drain. Nobody alive today. Another one that's a top fan, by the way. This person says, nobody alive today has been affected by slavery. Continuing this ideology and rhetoric is the problem. This coming from the white people, so it's semi-understandable. No one is owed anything. Work for it. Get it. That's what's wrong with America. Everyone wants a free handout. Everybody wants a free handout. And then another blatantly racist person at the bottom of your screen says, let Brando pay for it out of his salary with the OK sign put up. So, and these are the comments I wanted to address, right? Because for those white people that don't understand, for the white friends and all of that stuff, for you guys that don't understand how this works, y'all had generations, years, hundreds of years, 400 years to be exact, to step on black people's neck and use and benefit off of black labor. And we're talking about white wealth and black labor, and that's a book, by the way, by my guy Dr. Claude Anderson. Y'all should go ahead and check it out. Black labor, white wealth, black labor, however he put it. But go ahead and check and read the book for yourself. But you asking about people, you're talking about people that benefited from slavery today, and we see that white people got reparations for white slave owners, I should say, got reparations for having slaves. So now this is the conundrum that they put us in. This is the box that they put us in. They say, well, why instead of asking for a free handout, like, look, just because your ancestors got a handout and you still benefiting off the houses they passing down and all that other stuff, it don't mean that you and I are in the same boat. See, a sister put it like this. I'm gonna say this too for the white people, man. The ones that think that they grew up black and all that stuff. You didn't grow up black just because you broke. And it's crazy that they associate being broke with being black. Just because we grew up broke, it's not the same. So, I mean, you could talk to us when the police indiscriminately wage war against you, when the own government raises war against you, and they disguise it or put it under the guise as a war on drugs. You can talk to us when they have a preschool to prison pipeline for the white children and their third grade test scores, which is how prisons are mapped out for the future. It's based on third grade test scores, and it's not based on the white private schools and all the white predominant schools. Guess what it's for? In what they call the urban communities. And that's another thing. Segregation, while I'm on it, segregation, right? We would like to think segregation is over, right? We've been desegregated. Man, black people are concentrated in the same places all across America. That's why we all share the same similar experience. It don't matter where you at. There are many all-white states. There are no black states. Maryland is one of those states that have a high concentration of black people, but I think it might be one of the top 5 highest with black people in it, but still nowhere near 50%, 70%, nothing like that. Maine is 95% white. Montana, 90+% white. Wyoming, 90+% white. We can go down the line. Idaho, 90+% white. We can go down the line. And see, it don't sound bad when they say, oh, these are all white states. These are all predominantly white states. There's not a single predominantly black state. Not one. Not one. Think about it. So anyway, as I digress or regress, this program is made to deprogram you to what you've been programmed to. This is BMore4Real. If this is your first time listening, make sure you go ahead and hit that like, share, and subscribe button for sure, man. This is the realest conversation on the net, rated R for reality, brought to you by way of Real Explosion. So look, let's keep going. Let's go. So we got another comment. We got some other comments. Excuse me. This one actually at the top. This one is from a sister, and she says, first thing I want nothing from any of you guys. I work very hard for everything that I have. What I want you to understand is just because something happened over 160 years ago doesn't mean it didn't affect us. It's our history, therefore it did affect us. And so I'm gonna clap it up for her. She kept it real. She kept it a beam. And that's all you could ask for. And I'm gonna address that too, because remember I'm talking about the black people and all that stuff. They don't want, you don't want nothing. You don't want the handout and all this other stuff. We're gonna get into it. Now the next comment is by a Caucasian person that says, it's people like him that keep racism going. Shake my head. People like who? People like what? People that's doing what? I'm trying to understand where this is coming from. How is it racism that black people want reparation for what the hell y'all did to us? That's what you call gaslighting. For those that don't know what the hell gaslighting is another narcissistic trait. Instead of addressing the hurt that you did to us, now you want us to address our reaction to you hurting us instead of the initial pain that you put us through. Let me say that again. This is what gaslighting is. I'm not talking about a dictionary definition and all that good stuff. I'm talking about what it actually is. And this is a trait of narcissism. Gaslighting and narcissism is, instead of dealing with the initial problem, they talk about your reaction to them doing something to you. Instead of dealing with what they have done to you, they are dealing with your reaction to how they treated you, just to move the goalposts. It's gaslighting because it sets you off in a rage. It literally lights the fuse. That's why they call it gaslighting. And it's also a narcissistic trait and a narcissistic behavior in its pure sense. I know people throw that word out all the time, narcissist. Read on what the fuck it is. Excuse my language. But anyway, then we have another white person that say, I don't owe anyone anything. Okay, Mr. White Man, maybe you don't, but your ancestors do. How you got here, your ancestors do. I don't care where you come from, Germany, the UK. I don't care where you come from. Your ancestors do. We were taken and scattered all over the world, and I got proof of that too. Just so you don't think I'm lying. Let's pull this up real quick. This is the British Empire, because I spit facts. Remember, I told you that. After abolishing slavery in 1833, the British government paid about £20 million, about 40% of the national budget, and compensated to slave owners. Formerly enslaved people received nothing. Oh, so there's a trend. There's a pattern. So it don't matter where you come from, Mr. European, and stop thinking that this your land, because it's not. Y'all stole this shit. And now y'all want us to breeze past the fact that y'all stole this shit. No. Hell to the no. So let's continue. He said, I don't owe you anything. Yeah, you might not, but your ancestors don't. Your government do. The people that you entrusted and instilled in, they do. The freaking police, they do. All of them, they do. Oh, yes, they do. And then here comes another comment at the very bottom from a top fan, and it seems like this is a person of color. They said, I've never worked a day in the fields. All I want is my Baltimore city taxes to be refunded the 11 years that I've been here. And we're going to clap that up for them, too. We're going to clap that up for them, too, because at least they have a clear, concise, and you see how black people carry this stuff, and even on the internet, clear, concise thoughts and stuff like that. While these white people, they run rampant, and they think that they can just say anything just because they're in the government. And I don't know, for my black friends and for the black people who scared to speak up to the white people, show them this video. I'm not scared. Let's have that conversation. I'll talk to whoever it is, those big names I can't even think of right now. I will talk to them. Tell them, come talk to me. Yeah, come talk to me. Come sit down. Let's have a BMore4Real chat. We're going to talk about, let's spit facts. How about that? Because I got plenty of them. And see, you don't have to tell black people our experience for being black in America. It's still a stigma. It's still something. It's still an enigma. See, I'm gonna use another fancy word, but it's still an enigma figuring America out and how they treat black people. It's still disparities, still to this day. And they want us to just breeze past it and look over it. Nah, nigga, you owe us. You think just because my grandmother or my grandfather, my great-great-grandfather, just because they died and you enslaved them, now y'all don't owe us shit? Like what? That's crazy. That's crazy. Let's see if I got this other chat GBT thing. And it's gonna put in the summary what needs to be done, right? It's gonna put in the summary what needs to be done. Let's go ahead and look it up. Let's see. Policy reform. Okay, let's bring it up. Okay, so policy reform, advocacy for reparative justice measures such as targeted investments in education, housing, and healthcare to address systemic inequalities. However, experts agree that eliminating the black-white wealth gap is a generational challenge requiring sustained and comprehensive policy interventions. So let me read that again for all the novice folks. They say, however, experts, right? Not your stupid ass, not my stupid ass, not your dumb ass, not nobody dumb ass, not your black nose, not your brown nose and white man black ass, not you, not you kissing ass to the white man, not you, not the white man that say I don't owe you anything because I never owned a slave, not you. It says the goddamn experts. The experts, however, agree that in order to eliminate this black-white wealth gap, right? It's a generational challenge that requires sustained, comprehensive policy interventions. These are not my words. See, I feel like if I would have just said that without bringing up chat GBT, y'all gonna be like, yo, this nigga crazy, yo. This nigga Danny crazy. This nigga Danny crazy. I know that's what they're gonna be like all day. I know. I know. This nigga Danny crazy. I'm on one, man. This is a specialty in my cup today. This is a specialty in my cup today because this is a specialty segment. You know what I'm saying? This is just a specialty. But as I digress, Governor Westmore, right? This is why it's important for our people, right, in this day and age to listen, right? Because here we go voting, and we vote for you guys, and Governor Westmore, he has Caribbean parents and stuff like that. He come from the Caribbean, so he is a part of the diaspora, and however, and things like that. But when we elect you guys up there, and y'all got some type of thing against black people, when Obama became president, didn't do a thing for black people. When you see what happened when freaking Donald Trump in office right now, Burkina Faso, if you don't know about all of Burkina Faso and everything that's going on over there, you might need to look at what's going on around you. See, over there in Africa, especially in Southern Africa, they taking the land back from the white people that then took their land. And now they coming to America as refugees. Donald Trump has them in America right now as refugees. The land that they took back from the white people. The white people are like, oh, you done us wrong. When we know damn well you ain't from Africa. Whoa. Whoa. Whoa, did he just say that? Yes, I just said it. It's BMore4Real, dummy. It's BMore4Real, stupid. What you thought it was? What you thought it was? You thought this was a game, right? Y'all thought it was a game, right? And I know we got these youngsters. We got these people that run around that y'all have that represent our community kind of sort of the same way y'all represent Africa. Y'all want us to think that Africa is some poor, rundown, dusty, dirty, raunchy place. When it's really not. The freaking AI capital of the world, which we just read in chat GPT and stuff like that, the AI capital of the world is Nairobi, Kenya. They didn't tell you that, though. They don't want you to see that side of Africa because they all own a piece of Africa, and now Africa is getting it back. And by the way, Africa is a whole continent. Let's stop referring to Africa as a country. Just a side note. As I digress, President Trump, see, this is what happens when they get in office, they look out for their people. They look out for their kind. When the Hispanic people, when they get in office and all that stuff, when they get these contracts, these government contracts, when they get these jobs, they look out for their own kind. It's us. It's us, and it's sad that we got to say this in front of the white man. We got to have this conversation, but truth be told, they all know what's up. The whole world done conspire to keep us down. There's nowhere we can go in the world where they don't look at us and treat us a certain way because we black. Go take your ass to China. Go take your ass to Nagasaki, Japan. Take your ass around the world and see for yourself. I've been around the world. I've been to Germany. I've been to France. I've been to Amsterdam. So I've been places, bruh. Even black people, we do this too, because when people not from your land, you like, yo, we do this to our own kind. Look, you from Houston, we from Baltimore. It's a different world, and we really don't even know what each other talking about. I mean, we treat each other like that, but I know stuff like that goes on in the white European communities too. It's just that it's not televised. Their movements and revolutions are not televised like us. This is why we have to take control back of our media and stuff. This is why this program is made to deprogram you to what you've been programmed to. Because at the end of the day, it's people that speak the truth like me, and they're going to say, yo, you sound crazy. Yo, you sound crazy. It'd be a whole lot of. Soon as you start talking, soon as you start speaking up, it's a whole lot of crickets. You hear that? No, nobody got nothing to say. Or they make you seem like you crazy. I'm gonna tell you one thing from Christians too. Those people that believe in the Bible, claim that they're Christians and all that stuff, they thought Christ was crazy too when he was speaking the truth. They say, is this man a drunk? Is he a beggar? He must be. This ninja must be high, out of his mind, talking the way he talking. Seriously, and that's why Christ was like, yo, am I your enemy? Do I become your enemy because I tell you the truth? Now I became your enemy because I tell you the truth. I'm gonna be that type of guy. I'm trying to tell you, it don't matter if I lose friends or not. You know, I'm gonna still stand on my ground because a lot of people don't have spine these days. This is why social media was created, to make people assimilate to a certain type of culture that we didn't even initiate. We are being initiated into a culture that we've been initiated and assimilated into a culture we didn't even create. And this is the picture that they're painting for the other people. So now when you see black people of America, you think of a black man, you think of a gangster, a nigga that's fatherless and violent and ruthless. This is why when black people and white people hoods and all that stuff, and when they wearing hoodies and all that stuff, they get to clutching their pearls. And when you're in the elevator, you walking alone, they get to walking on the other side of the street. Oh shit, did he just say that? I hear some more goddamn. Did he just say that? I hear some more. I hear a lot of that. They ain't got nothing to say. And don't worry, you don't have to say anything. You don't have to say nothing, not a goddamn thing. Because I got you. I'm gonna say it. Because if they won't say it, I will. But let's let the truth be known. That reparations is real. And what Governor Westmore, see, this is what I want the people to realize. You got an election coming up next year in 2026, right? For governor. You probably be running again for governor and all that stuff. How do you think the black community gonna feel about you vetoing a bill? Especially the way that the media is portraying the vetoing of the bill of reparations, the study of reparations. How do you think the masses of people are going to take that and receive that? How do you think they even pushing that narrative to the masses of the people? We are tired of this stuff. Black people, stop voting Democrat, stop voting Republican, stop voting for these numbnut idiots. I'm not saying that Governor Westmore is a numbnut idiot. I'm not saying Brandon Scott, none of them. I'm just saying, stop voting for people that don't have our best interests at heart. If they can't go up there and say, yo, I got in this position to hold my people down, to even the playing field, for financial, equitable, generational equality and wealth, if they can't say that and actually do that, do what they say, like President Trump, the orange man that go in there and do everything he say, man, you got to go. You got to go. These people don't have our best interests at heart. And then come election time next year, he's going to have that reparation on the bill. Mark my word. Write this down. Do something. Screenshot. Screen record it. Because he's running for governor next year. And during his campaign next year, guess what's going to come up all of a sudden? Guess what's going to come up all of a sudden? I'm going to let you take a wild guess. Reparations going to come up on the table next year. And we're going to forget all about the fact that he vetoed the bill. We're going to forget all about that. And that's what's going to happen to the people. We are being easily manipulated and influenced by social media. And this is why this platform was created, to deprogram you to what you've been programmed to. So if this is your first time listening, definitely make sure you hit that like button, because there ain't no content like this on the internet, number one. And then number two, we're the realest podcast on the internet. Then number three, it's brought to you by way of Real Explosions. And then number four, man, it's rated R for reality, all that, man. Just hit that like button and hit that subscribe button. We appreciate all of our viewers and subscribers. Let me know your thoughts and opinions, man, because we really need to have these conversations and open up these conversations. And we need to have it with mature individuals. See, very soon I'm going to start opening up a call line. You'll be able to call on the phone, and I'm gonna answer it here, and we're gonna have a conversation. But I'm gonna have to have somebody in here to screen the calls because we got a lot of low-life idiots on the internet too that run around trolling. So I can't do that until I get somebody in here that can actually screen these calls before they call in, because we definitely not gonna have no freaking idiots out here. We just not doing that. Even if you disagree, we appreciate your disagreement. And we appreciate you sending out. He said, be more for real. You already know. This the realest conversation that you ever going to hear. And bring this to your politicians. Bring this to the NAACP, because there are people that really care about the people at heart. What are we doing for the people? What are we doing for our people? The disparity, we seen the numbers. I don't care who don't like the numbers. See, that's why when I had my first podcast, it was called Facts Over Feelings. That's why it's facts over feelings. Once these facts are being presented, we're talking about the facts. Forget your feelings. Put your feelings to the side, because this stuff needs to be dealt with. We need to deal with how the average median household income is let's just say $45,000 for black people, and it's almost $300,000 for white people. And it's been that way since 1970. I ain't making this shit up. I just read it. It says it's been going on, and it's been substantially, it's been a substantially large gap, and it used the word substantial. It's been a substantially large gap since the 1970s. And I know why. We took a ride through the 60s because black people used to own the stores and stuff in our neighborhoods and all that other stuff. We used to own the stuff. We used to own a lot of stuff in our community. But then we got redlined, then we got gentrified and all that other stuff. Black people got the rights to votes and all this other stuff. We had feminism. They threw the kitchen sink at the black community to destroy us. It's a reason why they don't want us together. And for you young YNs that's out there running around the streets, if you happen to run across this podcast and you happen to run across my words right now, stop being a tool in the agent of white supremacy. Your gang and all that stuff is no bigger than your freaking nationality, who you are as a person, your black people. If you freaking banging your gang before you bang your blood, your skin color, is dumb. It's just stupid. It's counterproductive. It's a tool of white supremacy. That's why, and do your research, they drop guns and drugs off in the hood, and they've been doing it for a long time. And so they prey on our ignorance. And our ignorance, it'll have us keep spending our money with Louis, Gucci, Vuitton instead of a Ascender Icon. When we could be putting our money back into our communities. Instead of spending Dolce & Gabbana and all that stuff, we could be wearing street clothing. We fucking made the goddamn cotton gin press. God damn it. We fucking made the materials, the machines that they even make these materials in. How the hell we don't own none of this shit? Y'all can't see that? Am I crazy? Is something going on? Am I fucking crazy? And look, I'm sorry for using all this language, especially to my church folk, but look, it's cause for that type of expression. It's kind of like, for a Bible analogy, it's kind of like when Christ was hungry at the fasting 40 days and 40 nights, and he seen the fig tree and it didn't bear no fruit, and he started cursing the tree. I'm pretty sure people thought the man was crazy. He was freaking hungry. And here he come, and it's a fig tree, and it don't bear no fruit. It's the same thing. We done been hungry. Not 40 days, not 40 nights, 400 years, over 400 years, we've been hungry, we've been starving, we've been systemically put down by the oppression. They hate for us to say the white man, but let's be real. It was the white people and the freaking Africans that was working with them, because they won't tell you that. This be more for real, because they ain't just come over to Africa and just say, you niggas get on the boat because I said so. That's not what happened either. There were some people in our own kind, out of our own village, that sold us into slavery as well. It was a slave trade. They were trading us as people like cargo. So, look, I could go on and on and on and on and on. But to my YNs that you may be watching, stop being a tool of white supremacy. To my young brothers, to my brothers, stop being a tool of white supremacy. To my sisters, stop being a tool of white supremacy. We don't see how all this stuff, even the government with the child support, all this other stuff, these are tools made to divide the black family. This is systemic racism. I'm not saying an individual person or white person is racist, but the system for damn sure is racist. And we know this still to this day, 2025. We have a comment by Tim I appreciate you, Brother Tim. Let's go ahead and say this. He said, we should abolish the concept of race. Take it off of forums. He said, we fill out, stop associating with tribes. Just go with what the New World Order wants. The New World will be better for it. I'm going to go ahead and clap it up for that comment. I appreciate your comment. Appreciate you, Tim Neiman. I'm going to say no to the New World Order because the New World Order is still the Old World Order. See, they call this the New World, but they brought the Old World over with them to the New World. That would be my disagreement there. The New World is not going to consist of race at all, so you're right there. You're right about that one. The New World will not consist of race. Actually, the New World that they are creating is socioeconomic, so it's whatever tax bracket you fall in. So now the elites of society are the ones who hold the most monetary gain, and which still the majority of them are white, but still, that's how white people keep other white people down too, with the classism. It's called classism. There are other names, there are numerous names for these types of events and the types of stuff. And like I said, I appreciate your comments, whether you agree or disagree. It makes sense, right? It makes sense to drop the race and all that stuff, but race is not something that we created, and being racist, like I said, and we're going to talk about this as soon as we get to 1,000 subscribers. Trust me, I got a whole series on the English language and the attack on English. But a racist is someone that is a perfectionist at race. Black people have never been a perfectionist at race. We never made race a profession, and we never hired or fired people or did all that stuff based on their race. We always dealt with nations and tribes of people and stuff like that, and individual people. Even Martin Luther King said, I have a dream that one day we will not be judged based off the color of our skin, but off of the content of our character. So we've always been willing to judge people based off the content of their character. This racist system based on race was not created by black people. So I can see, I can see if you're white and all that stuff, and you saying what you're saying because you don't know what it's like being black in America. But yet and still, as I digress, this is the realest conversation on the goddamn net, man. Stop playing with us. Stop playing with us. Stop playing with us. I mean, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. What you waiting on? Go ahead and share this to all your friends, all your families. This is very important. I would say too to Governor Wes Moore. Don't look for the vote of the black people. I'm gonna make sure of it. If we can't talk about something real and you really doing something for black people, we are going to lobby to get you the hell out of here. This channel, this podcast will lobby to get y'all the hell out of here. By the way, there's a woman that been running for the people and judging for the people, and she still lost the race. And I believe it was in the 7th district, Tory Rose. These are people that we can advocate for. We've had mayor candidates on the channel and stuff like that to help get our people into the system. I've heard brothers say that, why are we trying to join? And this was the interesting thing, too. I've heard a brother say, why are we trying to join the police departments and the judge departments and all that stuff when these people are systemically the ones oppressing us? It's like if you can't beat them, join them type of concept. Like they saying that black people have that concept that when we join the police force and when we join the judges and the state prosecutors and stuff like that, it's like if you can't beat them, join them type of thing. So now we joining a system the same system that's systemically oppressing us, and we are part of it. And a lot of that is true. So remember, this is Be More For Real. So we're gonna be more for real about our feelings, emotion. We're gonna put all that stuff to the side. We're gonna be more for real. Part of that stuff is true. But now the truth of the matter is, for the police officers, for the judges, for the doctors, for the lawyers, that go for y'all too. We're gonna lobby to get y'all the hell out of there, to remove y'all license. The only people y'all can work on is other white people and non-black, non-melanated people, because y'all not for the people. Y'all get in these positions and y'all sell out and y'all brown nose to these white people when they not doing the same for you. They will never do the same. White people, they got it. See, and they got it. This is natural. It's natural for people to want to look out for their own kind. Darwin put it like this: survival of the fittest. Normally people of the same kind assimilate and flock together. Birds of the same feather, they flock together and they reproduce and multiply. That's the whole reason for us being here. It's not for Gucci, Louis, Prada. It's not to get you a Rolls Royce, a Phantom, a Ferrari. It's not to get you a Bugatti. It's not to get you a rose gold chain. It's not to get you the diamonds. It's not to get you none of that. The whole purpose in life is to recreate, to replenish the earth, and to take care of the earth. That's the purpose for us being here. I think that we lost that. I think evolution kind of took a lot of that away from us, because if you think that we evolve, then you probably think we're going to evolve into something else, but evolution ain't fucking true. Nothing that we see evolve. Everything that we see was man-made. Down to the trophy, somebody had to make this shit, the damn lights. Somebody had to make this shit the damn background, the mic. None of this stuff evolved. Everything that we see, can touch, taste, hear, smell, everything that we can touch, taste, hear, see, smell has been created by something or someone with intelligence. That's just a fact. That's what you call observable science. See, a lot of this stuff nowadays is science theory. There's only two types of science. Science observation, which they use the scientific method, the hypothesis and reasoning and the conclusion, and they come up with a conclusion and all that stuff, and they know beyond a reasonable doubt that it's true based off of the scientific method. And then a lot of other stuff they feed us, most of the stuff they feed us is science theory. Now, as I digress, I'm just saying, we need to wake up as a people, as a species, period. Because this is foolishness. How are we that dumb in 2025? Like my man's Rel always say too. He said, don't be a dummy with a smartphone. Y'all hear me say that a lot. How the hell you a dummy with a smartphone? You literally got a worldwide access to a worldwide web, like an atlas. Like back in the day, we used to have atlases, encyclopedias. We had to have multiple sources, the newspaper, in order to get this information. Now we have it at the palm of our fingers, right here, right here. And for you to say you don't know nothing, it's crazy. That's crazy work, yo. That's crazy work. We're going to go ahead and clap that up, man. That's crazy work, man. That's crazy work. But as I digress, man, this is the realest conversation on the net, man. Y'all know I can go on and on about this, but let's be more for real, man. This stuff is getting out of hand. We in this day and age, we're going to get people in the police departments and all this stuff that work for us. When you're doing all this stuff, there are videos, I ain't gonna say, but there are videos on the internet, go look them up, where there are white police officers assaulting black people, and it's another black police officer standing right there, quiet as shit. Get him out of here, coach. You ain't got that background. You had that if you can't beat them, join them mentality that I heard the brother talking about, which is why he say everybody that's in the government and work for the government that's black he said they are a enemy of the black community. That's what that brother believed. And how many more of these young children and these young brothers are going to believe that coming up? And going to have the mentality that I don't need to go to college to be no doctor, no lawyer, none of that stuff, and then had the nerve to talk about the disparity with the housing markets, to have the disparity with the jail rates, to have the disparity with incarceration and having disparity at all these different levels financially when none of us are in these fields. It don't make sense. We're going to have to get into these fields. We're going to have to put our people in positions to be the financial advisors and all that stuff. We're going to have our own banks. We're going to have our own stuff that we can contribute to the economy of America. We can contribute our own stuff to our own economy of America. And look no further than the Indian reservations. They have their own police. Why do we need, so, and he brought that up too, this brother, I can't mention his name because I didn't have permission to, but this brother say, why can't we, instead of being a police, why can't we have our own police and police our own communities, just like they do on the Indian reservations? What they call the Indian reservations, but they really native indigenous people. But look, there's a lot I can go on, it's a lot I can say. But it needs to be said, the conversation needs to be had. And like I said, we're gonna start opening up these call lines, but we're not gonna allow you little idiots and you little trolls that be walking around the internet, we're not gonna allow you on here. I'm waiting until I get somebody that can screen these calls before they come in, and we're gonna sit and have a conversation. Whether you agree or disagree, we're gonna have a real mature conversation with people that have sense on all sides of the spectrum. That's what we're going to do, and we're going to keep it Be More For Real. Realest conversation on that, brought to you by way of Real Explosion. Be More For Real. Clap it up each and every single Wednesday, man. Each and every single freaking Wednesday. We here with you, man. Keep it locked with us. Be More For Real.